I want you to learn about MMT. And I'm Roseanne Rabioli, originally from Chicago, but now here in Nevada for the last 24 years. And I, along with my good friend Manny, Arizala, we're real progressives. We are real progressives. And we want everybody to know what's going on in the real progressive world. So we're out here today in Las Vegas. It's about 85 degrees. The wind is crazy. And we're going to talk to some folks, and we're going to have them share their views with you on real progressives. And we're so excited about this. I'm getting kind of up there in age, and real progressives makes me super excited. I love all of you. We're all in this together, baby.
Perfect. And Rose, I'm going to give you the camera. Can you turn around, and I'm going to say a couple of words? You want to turn that around? You'll be able to see me there. Hi, everyone. If you're barely tuning in, we're on live here in Las Vegas at Lorenzi Park, where Rose was just finished telling you that it's a balmy 90 degrees, 80 degrees, and the wind is relatively crazy out here. You have the backdrop here is lake. You got some geese, some ducks. But we're on live here today because the local OR chapter, Our Revolution, is hosting a Bernie rally, a 420 Bernie rally. We have a few folks who are out here in the community. I'm going to be behind the camera. Rose is going to be the one interviewing a couple of people. I may do the same later on, but we're expecting Tig Blame, who is a county commissioner here in Clark County in Las Vegas, Nevada, along with Nevada State Comptroller Catherine Byrne and a few other guest speakers. So without any further ado, be sure to like, subscribe, and share, right? Sharing is caring. So I'm going to get the camera, and we're going to be following Rosie here. Thanks, guys.
You got it.
All right, Rosie, here we go.
Are we ready? I have to duck, all 4'10" of me. Okay. And we have a young woman here. Today, they're watching us, and would you like to answer a couple of questions?
Of course.
Okay, and your name is, and where are you from?
My name's Jessica. I'm from here, Las Vegas, Nevada.
And Jessica, what brought you out here today?
I'm going to school for my social work degree, and I have become involved with Restore Your Vote. I'm volunteering with them, and that's why I'm here today.
Very good. Have you gone out in the streets yet? You know you're always welcome to come with me when I go out with our group Register to Vote. We did it last summer with our buddy, you know, Aaron Esparza.
Yes, he referred me.
Yes, and that's like my lot in life. I want to refer everyone to everyone else because we're all connected.
Right.
We can do anything together. Tell me a little bit about one of the main things you're studying regarding your work in social work.
So one of the main things that I'm studying is just learning how to work with people who have been in the system, maybe previously incarcerated. At one point, a lot of people have had their voting rights. Maybe let people know what their rights are at this point.
Do you find there's something more than simply folks think, I was incarcerated, I can't vote, nobody's going to let me vote. Is there something else you have to tell them? Because I know I've told people, let's go down the checklist, you can vote. I know every state is different, but you persuade or talk with folks to get out there and vote. Get out there and register.
Today's my first day.
Oh, today! All right. Congratulations. Oh, I love it. And Real Progressives is getting it. Oh, very good, very good. I love this. Jessica, thank you so much. You got my number?
Yes.
You call me.
Thank
okay?
you, Roseanne.
You call me. We have someone else over here. This is, would you state your name for us and where you're from?
Okay, 1 second. I'm going to turn around so we don't have a shadow on your guys' face.
You got it. How's that? Better?
A little better.
A little better. Come on over. We're doing better?
Yes, okay.
We're live streaming Real Progressives. Your name and where you're from?
I'm Joseph Smanley, and I'm from Nevada, Las Vegas.
Oh, okay. You were born here?
I was actually born in Cali, but we moved here at a young age. When I was
Okay. That counts.
young. So
That counts.
I'm basically in Las Vegas.
Okay. Yeah, that counts. And Joseph, what are you doing here today?
I'm here to support the cause and help people register to vote.
Very good. Well, hey, you got to come with me too. We go anywhere they don't kick us out of. We have been kicked out of a couple of places, but that's okay. We keep coming here. And Joseph, what do you do in your kind of free time?
My free time. I have to say I like to work on cars in my free time.
Very good. I don't know how to change spark plugs. I wouldn't know. Do all guys have spark plugs?
Yes.
They do.
Yeah, it's pretty simple.
Yeah. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. Joseph, what do you look for in a presidential candidate? Just a couple of things.
Majority somebody that's keeping our citizens, what our citizens want.
Any other kind of advice that you might give someone simply to come out and make sure they vote?
If you want to make a difference, if you want to vote for the right person, somebody that's going to help us and not just help themselves, come out and vote. Each vote will make a difference.
Very good. Very good. Mr. Manny,
Yeah.
Should we,
Yes, you lead
kind
the
of,
way. You lead the way. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Come on.
Here, look, can we
this
talk to
way.
these folks over here?
We certainly can.
All right.
We certainly can. Tell me how the button.
Hey, ladies. Can we ask you a couple of questions out here outside of the gazebo?
This is me.
Hi.
I'm Roseanne with Real Progressive, and since we came out today, we would like to just ask you, okay, and what is your name, my dear, and where are you from?
My name is Angie, and I'm from California.
From California?
Yes. My name is Donnie. I'm from California too.
Okay, and how did you get here today?
You mean to Vegas or to this park?
To the park.
We were invited by some friends to come out and
Okay, so you're just kind of doing a weekend thing.
right. And we found out we actually were here first, and they reserved a spot, and they actually were nice enough to tell us that we can stay. We don't have to move, and we can sit over here with them.
Hey, that's awesome.
Awesome. And this is my uncle.
Yeah.
You and me.
And this is Roger.
Oh, here.
Oh, no.
Hi, Roger.
And that's my daughter.
Hi there.
Your sisters.
So do you ladies follow politics?
Yes, we do.
And can you tell us a little bit how you guys are feeling about it? What are your thoughts? Is it inspiring?
Well, we're looking forward to the next election. We're definitely looking forward. I'm definitely voting. I'm already registered to vote. I'm looking at Bernie, but I like Hillary. Harris. I like what she's doing. So, I mean, I like a few of the candidates that are out there. I just want to get Trump out of the office.
I'm a millennial, so you know, you never know about us. Well, I'm going for Bernie, man. He love the millennials, so hey.
There you go.
What do you think you could say to folks your age, my age, Manny's age? What's important for us to say to folks?
Roger, you better be nice.
What did you say?
To my generation, I think I'll say we have a lot of complaining that we're doing, and the only people that can complain are the people that go out and vote. That's the people who gotta say so. That's what counts. You gotta use your voice. That's all.
I think for every action deserves a reaction, and the reaction is to put Bernie in office. So let's get out there and make something happen. We have to do something. Like the country right now, we need a change. We definitely need a change, and I hope the change is coming. I really do.
I think with enthusiasm like this, we all get together. Together, my dear. Together. We have a young man here. We are with Real Progressive, and we're live streaming.
Can I get you to move over there so there's no shadow on your face?
Chris, I'm Rosie, and this is Manny. And where are you from originally, Chris? Oh, okay. That house. What brought you out here today?
420.
Aha.
One thing you can't help.
Are you registered voter?
That's my grand.
Okay. We're just checking. We want to get everybody.
Don't you have a grand?
Now, is this your uncle too?
So.
Okay.
You know,
Come here, Uncle. Come on in, Uncle. This is the uncle. This is Uncle.
old school. Like us.
That's right.
The old school. Leave that. Don't think.
Old school. New school. Right?
No, new.
New. We can all work together, right? We're all in this together. It's all about us, right? And we want you to tell our viewers on Real Progressives, tell them what you do to get folks out there registered and excited to vote.
Okay, number one. Who the first president that y'all hate? So if you want to vote for the president out, you need to vote so you get your president in. So if you want, you need to vote out. So you gotta go to vote. Get your president in. There's a whole bunch of Democrats, but vote for the best one. That's how I say. But number one, vote. Old school.
That's right, old school. I like it. You agree with Okay. Thank you.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Oh, Manny, this is good. Okay. All right. Now, you know what? I would like to go. Oh, wait. Here's somebody.
Okay.
Here's somebody coming. We gotta. Oh, yes. We are live streaming with Real Progressive. And do you mind if we ask you a couple questions?
No, it's fine.
Okay. Your name and where are you from?
Sharon Kelly, and I'm from Chicago.
Oh, you're from Chicago too? What side? South side, north side? What?
The suburbs.
The suburbs.
Westland.
Okay. Oh, I know that too. I know. I'm a Sox fan.
Fan.
But that's okay. I like the Cubs too. I love them too.
I love the Cubs.
Yes. And the Bears and the Bulls. Yes, we love.
We're gonna go smoke a joint. Who wants to go with me?
Wait, come here.
Now we gotta edit the thing, right?
Well, you're on live. There'll be no editing.
It's legal here.
You're on live with Real Progressives, and this is John Jeremiah. Now, John Jeremiah, I met several years ago when I went in to volunteer at Bernie's headquarters in Henderson, Nevada. And then I saw his face everywhere, everywhere, everywhere for the next couple of years. And I'm still seeing that little face. And why don't you come out?
See if I can get through now.
Oh, don't start with me. What's important, John? What's the most
What's important? Men for all.
Men for all.
Everybody knows that. Men for all.
Okay.
40,000 people die every year. We don't need that. It's the most important issue. I won't vote for anybody that isn't interested in men for all.
And how do we get how do we influence? How do we make friends and influence people to get them out there to listen to what we know is good for everybody? What do we do?
What I do, and I wish other people would do it because I think that I'm one of the only ones. I go to all of the news media web pages, CNN, Facebook page, MSM, and I stick up for the progressive values in Bernie Sanders. I don't ever see anybody else doing that. Everybody likes to sit on Facebook pages and preach to the choir. And get on these Bernie sites and sit there and talk to your friends. That doesn't do it. We have to get out there. We have to go where people are, like Bernie did when he went on Fox News.
Yeah.
Best movies made ever. Best movie. He reached voters that haven't decided, or that have decided, but now they're changing their mind. That's what we have to do. We got to get off these Bernie sites. Got to get off this crap with, and talking to, preaching to each other. That's not going to cut it. We have to get away from that.
Are you going to come out with me and help register voters?
I don't know. I just lost it. I'm kind of taking a little back.
In the next few months.
Yeah,
In the
I will.
next few months.
I will.
We can do it.
Moms are important.
Of course. Of course. We can do it.
And do we have a question for?
Yeah, you so rudely interrupted.
That's all right. We'll
This is a friend of mine.
We'll let the old guy go first.
Yeah, well, age before beauty.
Yeah, age before beauty. That's right. That's right.
She's an exhibitionist. You want to see?
No.
What do you think is the most important issue after or in conjunction with Medicare for all?
Social Security. I think that's going to go away, and that's not fair to the seniors. And I know by the time I'm old enough to get it, it won't even be there. It needs to be saved. Take care of that. Our seniors deserve everything they get.
Are you politically involved as John?
Not as John, no. I'm a Democrat. I'm very proud of the party, and I support it 100%.
That's a hard one. You walk up to everybody and get the same answer.
I'm Krista.
Hi,
So nice
Krista.
to meet you.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
We're live streaming. Come here a second. We're live streaming with Real Progressives, and that's good. This is our Clark County newly elected commissioner, Tick Sagerboom, and he's been around politics in Nevada for quite some time.
70 years.
Okay, and your mom was?
Before that, 95 years.
Yeah,
Her
and
mother, 70 years, and her grandfather, another 100 years.
now, Tick, do you think it's fair for us to say you're kind of like the
Godfather
the
and Pop.
dad? I'm not saying Godfather. I'm just saying the dad of the whole cannabis issue in Nevada.
I'm called the Godfather. I like to be the grandfather, but the Godfather's okay.
Yeah, no,
And truthfully, a lot of people made it happen, but I get credit for it, so it's great.
well, that's good. We got some other things we want you to work on.
Homeless, that's my number one objection.
Oh, great. I got all kinds of ideas, a little bit at
You
a
just need some
time.
money.
We can definitely work on you. We're going to have folks out here. You're going to talk a little bit today. And
Yeah, Bernie, to his credit, 2016, he was the only one out there, presidential candidates. So he's been there historically appreciated the whole fact that social equity part, that impacts people of color more. But he's like everything else, like Medicare for all. He's like a rock star.
What are you gonna do to make more friends and influence more voters to get out, register, and cast ballots? What are you gonna do?
Just keep talking to people and let them see that, the fact that the reason Trump won is because people didn't vote. It's so critical. Legislatures have a lot of tools to register, make it easy to register election day. But at the end of the day, we just have to get people, everybody excited and say this is a life or death thing. This is the world, this is marijuana, this is whatever you care about, this election's gonna make a difference.
Yeah, there's no Planet B. I mean, this is it. You know, we can't take everybody and go someplace else.
Who wants to live on the moon?
You know, we got to do it now, right? See, we got our register to vote table out here, so we'll go out and talk with folks and get them excited.
Yeah, and this is life or death issue.
For sure.
Get out because of your life. What the hell?
Yeah, count your money while you're choking. I don't know, but what do you do? What do you do? Hey, thank you so much.
Thank
We'll
you.
talk to you later. Take care. Go ahead. Well, that was our newly elected Clark County Commissioner. Previously, he was a Nevada state senator, and before that, he was in the assembly. His mom was in the assembly, and they're originally from Boulder City, Nevada, which is why I happen to know him and the name Sagerblum. And for those who don't live in Nevada, Tick was actually the legislator that got the marijuana bill done and passed. You know, shall we take a little walk?
Yes.
See who else we have here?
Let's walk.
Let's walk. Okay, you tell me how shall we walk? You know what? Say hi to some of the people.
Let's see.
I saw Jimmy Sunderland.
Yeah.
I saw Rob's probably on there.
He is.
Say hi. Hi, how are you guys? I'm so excited. This is crazy. I love it. And you know what? I want all these people to get their little fingers going and go on to Real Progressives. They can go, they can see it on Facebook, they can go to the Real Progressives USA.com website and see some great articles about, especially my favorite, modern monetary theory. I knew there was something like that out there. You guys showed me. I am excited. I am excited. And we're going to get everybody else excited. Hey, Jake. Come here, Jake.
Hold on. Let's see.
Yo, Jake. Look at him. Oh, Jakey Boo. Jake. Come here. Come here.
I can't. I got it. I'm on the mic in 1 minute.
Okay. All right. He's making excuses.
So who was that you were just speaking to? Just for those who were watching.
Okay, for those who were just watching, I was speaking to our newly elected Clark County Commissioner. His name is Tick Sagerblum. Before he got elected to the Clark County Commission, which is a real powerful entity here in Southern Nevada. He was a state senator, and he was also in the Nevada State Assembly. He and his family, the Sagerblums, have been in Nevada politics for years. Do we want to listen to Jake for a second?
We do.
Okay,
Well,
we're going to listen to Jake for a second.
We're actually going to be listening to the
I used to
for a
go
while.
as an author, advocate, columnist, and cannabis blogger for Black Abyss, which she created to break the stigma African Americans have around issues of marijuana use, decriminalization, and legalization. She helped jumpstart the medical marijuana industry in Southern Nevada by assisting with the application process of an African-American owned and funded dispensary in Las Vegas, where she also served as an assistant manager. In 2016 and 2017, she was organized and lobbied for legislation to bring marijuana regulations to Nevada to regulate in the same way alcohol is in Nevada. Excuse me. Aisha is the founder of Greenbridge Consulting Group, which advises partners and coaches and entrepreneurs interested in establishing, growing, and selling cannabis here in the state of Nevada. In addition to writing and consulting, Aisha is currently lobbying the legislature on behalf of those disproportionately impacted by the criminalization of marijuana. Aisha, the Great, is up first.
Good afternoon. I don't think I'm this tall. Can I move it? Yeah. Okay. How about that? Can y'all hear me okay? My voice usually carries. So I just want to say thank you to our revolution. I appreciate the opportunity. I never take it for granted. This is one of those times where we're living in that moment where things are happening and we can actually be a part of it. So it's great to be here and see everybody a part of the process. It's so important. It's more important to go home and tell somebody else to be a part of the process as well. Don't just be here and make sure you're a registered voter. Knock on the neighbor next door and make sure they're a registered voter as well. Let's be engaged and be involved. All right, so what I'm going to be talking about today is marijuana reform, more about marijuana justice. What I do is, right now I am a government affairs for a couple of companies that are interested in equal rights and equity in the marijuana industry. And so I wrote a little speech, if that's okay, but I've been told I have just a little bit of time, so I'm going to go on and start. Happy 420 in a legalized state. It's legal here. Most importantly, it's decriminalized. So happy 420 in a legal and decriminalized cannabis state. And although we are celebrating legalization, I am still fighting for equality in this industry. It's embarrassing. It literally is embarrassing that I am fighting for equality. I was listening to Congresswoman AOC, and she was quoting the statistics in ownership today in the cannabis industry. It was an article in MJ BizCon in 2017, and what it reported was 73% of cannabis executives are men and 81% are white in an industry that was estimated to be $20 billion by 2020. Can you guys believe that? But I'm sure you guys already know that, right? This isn't anything new, right? I'm sure you already know that there is inequalities in ownership, right? You already know that there are already marijuana decriminalization, and there are still people that are being considered felons in these decriminalized states, right? You guys already know that. You know that the decriminalization of marijuana in these states are also profiting from the marijuana business, right? So this is all, none of this is new. Meanwhile, we're still celebrating those states for letting those people out of prison, letting those people released from their felonies as if it's something important. We're still celebrating that. But they should have already done that. Right. Why would you legalize something and then go back and say, oh yeah, let's let them out? Right? I'm not going to preach, I promise. There are generations of families that were affected by the war on drugs, which really turned out to be a war on race. The ACLU study said that African Americans were 4 times more likely to be criminalized for marijuana than their white counterparts. But I'm not bitter about it. I am, but I gotta say that openly, that I'm not bitter. Right. It is supposed to be a rally and a celebration, so I can't preach. I was actually told before I came, Aisha, don't preach. But I ain't nothing but a preacher, so that's all I know how to do. So that's what's gonna happen, right? So I want to first just bring up some things that I want you guys to be watching. So there's an assembly member, William McCurdy. It's AB 192, which it's actually just a common sense bill. And what Anything that's decriminalized from this moving forward will allow people to have their charges released. So it's not just about marijuana. So anything moving forward that's decriminalized, this will be the standard of how things were going. So you want to make sure that you are calling your legislators and telling them that you are for AB 192. All right? You got to note that down. I didn't see nobody write that down. AB 192. All right. Also, I'm going to shout out Senator Dallas Harris for SB 346, which is the marijuana emerging business model. And the reason why that's important is because if we have an emerging business model, if we have a structure for what sustainable business looks like for minorities, then we have a place to go in the business, and then that matters, right? Okay, so now I'm going to preach. Now I don't even have any more notes, right? So, I've said all of the issues. Now I have to kind of give you some results, because that's what matters, right? So here's the reason why there are no social equity bills in Nevada. Because I was told that social equity bills were actually unconstitutional. What they told me was putting licenses aside for those that were disproportionately offended by criminalization of cannabis was racist. Basically what they said was, here's a scenario, you want to put these licenses on aside for these people, but you don't want to make it open for all. And I was like, yeah, I saw some other states do it. I thought that made sense. No, that's unconstitutional. But it wasn't unconstitutional to put people in jail for it, though, right? It wasn't unconstitutional to keep them in jail. It wasn't unconstitutional to keep them as felons for it, but it's unconstitutional to give them something back in return. The answer would be reinvestment into our communities. What the answer would be is the taxes that everybody was excited about shouldn't just go to education. It should go to those disproportionate communities, and they should get a portion of that to build business. The other answer is, if there is only a corporate business model, then what happens is there is no place for minorities to get into the business. So this really isn't just about the business, it's about the business structure. And how ironic is it that the states, because it's not just Nevada, that all the states only created a corporate business model. You know why they created a corporate business model? Because it was their intent to keep the disproportionate people out of the business. That's strategic. But what they inadvertently did was also kept a commodity and a new resource away from themselves. They basically gave away a resource to corporate business. And everyone knows, the SBEC says, that 42% of all employment comes from small businesses. So also what they did was gave away new jobs. So the answer really is small business. What we need is a marijuana micro small business model. So what I'm not asking you to do is to put licenses aside, because that would be unconstitutional. What I am asking you to do is to create new licenses so that it can be equal. I'm not asking for a handout, because that's what they would say, especially because I'm black, you asking for a handout. No, what I'm asking for you to do is to level the playing field. Thank you. What we do as culturally is we do micro and small businesses. Women, black people, Latinos, Asians, we do small and micro businesses. That's what we do culturally. If you introduce a small business model, then what you've done is you've leveled the playing field. So that's what equality looks like. I'm not asking for just social equity, because you ain't gonna give it to me anyway. But what I am asking for is equality. So as we move forward, I want you to be looking at AB 192, SB 346, and start talking to your legislatures about a micro and small business model in marijuana. Because they don't want to hear that language, this legislature, and I'm comfortable with that because I'm here. I get it. It's a lot. But you need to start telling them tomorrow, email them and say, I want a micro and small business model. Let's equalize the playing field. Thank you for your time. One more thing, because I have to do this, right? Godspeed to Senator Sanders in the primaries.
Judith, are you coming Go ahead.
Hello everyone, I'd like to introduce our next speaker. I'm looking to see if he's right, okay. Okay, our next speaker, I think we can all agree, is probably the father of the cannabis industry, the father of pot legalization in Nevada. And it's my pleasure to announce our former county commissioner, our current county commissioner. That's right, you were. Sorry. Our current county commissioner, I keep thinking of him as being in the Senate still, Tig Cedarblum. Thank you.
Thank you. And what you didn't say is I was the first Bernie Sanders in 2015, so I like to take credit for that.
That's
I
right.
saw him coming, and truthfully, everything that he proposed then, which seemed so radical, is not like everybody agrees, including marijuana. He was the one I talked to him when I first met him in 2015. He said, I support marijuana. You know, I want to encourage people to use it, but I'll legalize it. I'll let you do what you want to do. He's the only person. Hillary in October of 2016 was still like medical maybe, but come on guys. Anyway, Nevada has moved on. We are there. This is the second 420 actually where we can just enjoy it. But truthfully, we can't enjoy it out here because this is the public space, right? And we have no law which covers public space. So, in addition to what I also said, which is so important, because we need justice, we need to focus on how can we enable people to use it other than in their home, and we need to enable to make sure that those places are diverse and covered with all kinds of women and minorities that otherwise are not participating. So going forward, in addition to what's happening in the legislature, let's make sure that the city, all the cities and the county, all their laws say that there's no economic barriers. You don't have to be tied to a dispensary. We want you to be allowed to, if you have an idea of how you can use marijuana in your business, whether it's a lounge or a restaurant or a bar or whatever it is, that's between you and the city or the county. That's not something that the government's going to tell you. And we're not going to tell you have to be out by the strip, so we can be right down here, which would be a fantastic place. I mean, the reality is, what are all the fights about? That people go to bars and get drunk. We had bars right over here that was a marijuana bar. Crime would be end over, right? There would be no more fights. So, not many of our bars either, but that's a different story. But the reality is, Nevada has come so far. Now we're at the next step, which is make sure that everyone participates and benefits, not just a few rich white guys, which so far are the ones. So pay attention, be involved, and help us make sure that this is a diverse industry. And God bless Bernie, because without him, we wouldn't have Medicare for all, we wouldn't have free tuition, and we wouldn't have marijuana. He was the leader. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Tick. Before we go any further with some speakers and talking to you about how we get Bernie Sanders elected, I would like to introduce our next performer. You got a second?
So how's everybody doing? Really? That's it? I thought this was supposed to be exciting and fun. There you go. Okay. Alright, so my name's Jay Wasley. I've spent roughly the last 9 years traveling around the country filming a TV show on the Travel Channel called Ghost Adventures. And during that time, I've been scratched, I've had things drag me that there's nothing there. I've actually seen objects lift off the ground and go flying by themselves, and countless other terrifying things. With traveling the country, one of the scariest things I've seen is actually the division between the people of this country, and it's the political division. And unfortunately, a lot of it's from misinformation, you know, misguidance, just people talking that don't really know what they're talking about. And unfortunately now a lot of it goes online to social media. There's no point in everyone gets muscles behind the computer, but face-to-face is the only way that we can actually sit down and talk things out. Our country faces, but the entire world is facing at this point. We're facing times that are beyond just in our backyard. It's the whole world that's changing, and we need to focus on that a lot. So it's great to see everybody coming out today and supporting such a great cause. And I'm pushing for Bernie more than ever, and I have good faith 2020 will be the year. I want to thank our Revolution Nevada for putting this together, and for all you guys for coming out and supporting it. It really means a lot. It's different little moments like this. This might seem a small group, but the ripple effects of this can carry on, and it's one person at a time. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, spread the word, and it will get there, and I think we will. So now I have the honor of introducing an amazing friend of mine, an amazing human being, and an amazing songwriter whose songs always tend to make me smile, cry, but most importantly, they touch topics that really make you think about what's going on. So please give a warm welcome and lend your ears to Charlie Hager.
That was my first song. You like it? Well, I want to thank you guys for letting me come out. I haven't gotten to play much since I moved to Las Vegas 9 months ago with Darla and somebody else. I don't really, I wish I'd written more songs about marijuana. I wish I, but I think Willie Nelson's got his beat on that. I do have an album I wrote just before the election in 2016 called American Saga, and each of the songs in that album are influenced by events that occurred before then. So there's songs that, basically subject of a lot of things that was going on before the election. So it came out just before the primaries. It came out before the primaries. But this first song, I was a social counselor at a level 4 youth facility, and let me say it was a bad experience because all I saw was legalized pharmaceuticals given to children from 8 years old all the way up to 18 years old. And they were basically feeding what is essentially going to be the private prison population. So I didn't care much for that, but there was this one kid from Alabama that they brought into Tennessee. I was from Tennessee, and I was talking to him one day, and he just said, "I'm way down low." So I wrote this song called Way Down Low, and when I say it's on the farm, that means pharmaceuticals. So that's what it is. A little hot there, Jay. It's all right. This next song was written.
So if you're barely tuning in, we are live in Las Vegas. Currently, OR has put on a 420 rally here for Bernie Sanders. We had Roseanne with RP interview a few people. We had Tick Sagerbloom speak a few words, current county commissioner, and then Aisha Goins. Let's see if we can go talk to Aisha really quick.
Oh, yes. Let's go talk to her.
She's currently speaking with someone. We'll wait in just a moment.
She's right on point. Right on point. If we don't work together, if we don't spread our message to everyone, that's what I want to do. We're all connected. We're all human beings. So let's work together. This is the only planet we got at the moment. Where are we gonna go? Plan B? Where is that? Where's Plan B? Let's get together. I want to introduce everybody in the whole world to everybody else. And that's what we have to do. Right? That's what we have to do. We know a lot of people. Let's just talk to each other. You're not going to agree with us on everything, but we can find something. We can find something, right, Manny?
Absolutely, absolutely.
You got to have, I just said this in an article I wrote. You got to have heart. All you really need is heart. What do you got? What do you got out there? You got heart? You're going to come and work with us? You're going to go read the factual information that Real Progressives puts out there each and every day. What do you got? Let me see your heart. Let's see your heart. It ain't so hard. It's not. Come on, we're all in this together. We gotta go talk to this one.
Yeah, you want to go? You want to go? Ask her really quick, and we're gonna get a little view of the lake right here, outside of Laurenti Park. And Rosie went to go talk with.
Right over here.
Okay, perfect.
She will be right over here.
And
so, Manny,
yeah.
We got some things going on next weekend too.
Yeah, what's going on next weekend?
Okay, we got Bernie events going on next Saturday.
That's right. What day is the Saturday? The 27th?
27th.
Okay.
I know for a fact a lot of us here will be over at Marcy Armstrong's house. And I'm getting invitations from just try to look at the schedule and see, okay, I can make this one, I can make that one. So watch your emails. And speaking of emails, listen, Real Progressives is putting out a newsletter. Watch your email. Go to Real Progressives. Make sure you have info at Real Progressives. Make sure you've got that so the newsletter doesn't go in junk mail. So check that, check your junk mail. Make sure you're going to want to see the newsletter. We even wrote a little teeny bit about the Henderson rally that we did with Bernie
About a month ago.
That was a good one, Manny. You're good, kid. You're good. I love you. You're good. I wish it wasn't so windy, but it's okay. I'm not complaining. The weather here is perfect. Las Vegas got nothing to complain about, and they have hardly any potholes. Okay? So I'm sure Rob will appreciate that, because I think in the Pennsylvania area they got a lot of potholes like they do in Chicago. Oh, let's grab Judith Whitmer.
Okay.
Judith. Oh,
She's
taking
taking a
picture.
camera.
We're doing a photo opportunity over here. That's one. That's two.
So, Rosie, let me ask you.
Sure, go
Why
ahead.
did you get involved with RP? Or what is it about RP?
Well, I'm going to be 1,000% honest. I got involved with RP because of you, Manny, Arizala. That's why I got involved, okay? I trust you to go anywhere. I trust everything you tell me. So, you say to me, Roseanne, oh, this is what I was telling you about. You want to write some stuff? And I say, oh, sure, Manny, let me check it out. And then all of a sudden, boom, 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 1, 2, 3, Rob Baxter. What a guy. I love hearing him talk because he's got kind of like an accent like mine. He's great. He's great. So, next thing you know, I'm writing. Now I got a couple of articles on realprogressivesusa.com. Real Progressives with an S, USA.com. Go to the website. There is unbelievably great stuff. Okay? And I want all of you to start learning about MMT, Modern Monetary Theory.
And why should they learn about that?
Because modern monetary theory is the policy, the framework that we can use so that nobody has to say, oh, we're running out of money. No, we're not running out of money. We, the United States of America, has their own sovereign currency, right?
Right.
Okay, that's one. They spend the money that Congress authorizes them to spend. Then they tax. There is no specific this much amount of money that the U.S. government can spend. No. There is not this piggy bank that has X number of dollars and you can only spend that. No, it doesn't work that way, folks. I want you to learn about MMT. We can spend money on Medicare for all, on a federal jobs guarantee. We can also spend money on a Green New Deal. What are we going to do if we destroy the planet? What are we going to do? You want to tell me that, Mr. Rich Guy? You can't tell me that, okay? Study it. Learn it. MMT. And Dr. Kelton is going to be the monetary policy advisor for Learning is Good. Learn facts. Don't learn neoliberal horse feathers, okay? We don't need that. We don't need any more horse feathers. We don't need it. We don't. So, I think we're almost... Oh, we have a fella talking on the phone. I thought we were almost ready. I know.
So, Rosie, we had a little accident and the video reset. So, if you were previously watching, that was part one. This will be part two. So again, we are live on location in Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm going to pan around here, and Our Revolution is hosting a Bernie rally on 420. We have some folks here at the park. We have Lori there in the blue shirt, who is the president of Our Revolution Nevada here in Las Vegas. And let's kind of pan back over here. There's currently some entertainment going on. We heard from Tick Sagerbloom and Aisha Goins. And we're going to see if we can...
have Lori. Can you come on over, Lori?
Yeah, for 1 minute I can.
Okay.
Was that a serious question?
cornhole game going?
This is Lori Bryant.
This is Diana.
And tell them what you do with our revolution.
Oh, I'm the president of the Nevada chapter of our revolution. We organize for Bernie. We're out in the community taking care of some of the protesting and education events that go on around various issues. Medicare for All is a big flagship issue of ours. We have a strong, concentrated effort to work on the Medicare for All initiative. And we're really pushing that, obviously, with the new legislation. And right now we're 100% behind Bernie. Today we're here for Cannabis Day, and we want to make sure people understand the importance of decriminalizing marijuana. You know, this is a tool for systemic racism, and it needs to end. And, you know, that's what we're here talking about today.
And who do you have with you?
This is Diana. She's a hardcore burner. She's been a supporter for years now. And she works in the healthcare industry, and she understands the importance. And I can let her tell you all about that. She knows the importance of the things we're fighting for.
I just think that people should have the chance to have alternative medication without being forced or subject to pharmaceutical industry. And I also feel that we don't have plan of treatment or something that would work really well to help our homeless population who are addicted. They don't really have resources, and is that we need to stop the crime addiction and start thinking of mental illness. They need help too. So that's
right.
why I support Bernie.
Hey, thank you so much.
Thank you for being here. Yay,
Thank
real
you for
progressive.
thank
We
you for
love you.
thank you for planning this, Lori. Everyone's loving it.
I hope you're having fun, and for those who aren't here yet, hurry up and get down here.
And for those who are watching, where can they find you here locally if they move to the area? Because you know Vegas is a very transient city.
Sure is, yeah. Please reach out to us on Facebook at Our Revolution Nevada. We're also on Twitter at Our Rev NV, I believe it is, and we're also on Insta under the same moniker. So please reach out. We are always planning events. We can always use more help.
Perfect. Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
guys. All right.
All right, Rosie.
Mr. Manny,
Yeah.
you tell me it's about.
I think we.
Great. Come on in. Come on.
Hold on.
Look at these. These are limited edition exclusive Our Revolution Nevada Bernie 4 2020 buttons.
All right. All right. And who do we have over here? The passionate woman who was just speaking a couple of minutes ago. Hi.
Introduce yourself.
I'll introduce myself.
Real progressive.
Hi, Real Progressives. I heard you guys were out there killing it. I'm Aisha Goins, and I am with Greenbridge Consulting Group. I'm a government affairs, and I lobby on behalf of equality in the marijuana.
And what can you tell us of how the industry is here in Nevada compared to maybe in the other states? Is it its infancy? Is it growing? Is it stunted right now?
So the industry here in Nevada specifically would be in comparison to where Colorado was 2 years ago. So we are evolving. There's new licenses coming out. So you'll see new businesses coming. There are a lot of new brands that are being introduced. But what's happening is Nevada is actually being because our licensing and our regulations are some of the stronger regulations in the nation. So it's becoming the pivot place for everybody else to kind of go off of. So.
Okay.
You know what? I'm always interested because people hear a speaker, we can do this, we can do that. What can we do? Individual what can we do to make a difference? What's the bottom line?
So the bottom line is actually letting your legislators know what you want. So our legislators vote for us, and what happens is we forget, right? We forget that we vote them in office, and especially in Nevada, our legislatures are citizen legislators, right? So what we have to do as individuals is get more engaged and take more of it's more about what I can do than what's happening to me approach. And you have to call your legislators and get involved and follow up and question why and how they voted, and then
Nevada state senators and say, okay, how do you feel about this? How do you feel about that? Where do you stand? I've had people in the legislature say, oh, I think the minimum wage is too high.
Then what you need to do is tell them, I got 35 people that will stand together and say, you're wrong. See, what happens is we don't know how to gather, right? That's what really happens. So one of the things that I said in my speech today is it's not enough for you to be a registered voter. You have to go out and ask those around you, are they registered voters, and then hold them accountable to voting. So one of the reasons why I'm able to be effective is because I partner with other people in the community to get the things that I need done. Like I partner with Plan, and I partner with Make It Work. So when I show up to my legislators, I tell them, I'm 5 people away from 500 people. So if I can make a phone call, I can also get you unelected, right? You're always 1 call or 2 phone calls away from actually getting something done. But you have to understand that. You have to believe that. You have to be able to activate that, especially like if you're in a church or a mosque or a Catholic church. If you're in these places, all of those people are your voters, right? Because all you got to do is say, hey, I have an issue. You have a meeting. Now you went from 5 people to 50 people. 50 people to 100 people. It literally is that simple if you care enough about your issue. And that's really what it boils down to, right? People aren't passionate enough to do anything. So if it doesn't matter to you, you are the people who things are happening to. If you're passionate about something, you are the person who is making things happen. So if you can't make something happen, you need to get with someone who is passionate, tell them your issue, and so that they can make it happen.
We're going to make a line. You're going to be on this side. I'm going to be on this side. Come on.
That's right. Come with me.
It just strikes me. Now, so I know a lot of good guys, okay? And I don't make no blanket statement like that. But see, I look at you, I look at who we are. I know I can grab Manny and say, come on, and he's right there with you. It's, if you got that heart connection, and you got the soul.
So I think women are, so one of the issues right now, we always follow trends, right? So one of the things that they're talking about now is that women aren't really ready for certain things because we're emotional, right? I like to say that I'm passionate, and my passion moves people and inspires people. The one thing that people don't understand is women give birth. So we are the birthers of ideas. We're the birthers of vision. We incubate those things and then we birth them. What our men are doing is they're heavy lifters. They can hold the load, and I appreciate them. And I really feel strengthened in a partnership with a man in lobbying and gathering. I always look for a man because I need someone to help me push that load, right? But women are natural incubators. We're natural birthers, and that is what we do. However, sometimes we can be a little timid and a little afraid, right? Sometimes we don't want to be the ones who...
we never been timid or afraid.
Sometimes we don't want to be the ones to just kind of bust the door open, right? Yeah. Sometimes that's us, but so what I've learned is to partner with somebody that I can get him to push the door open, and then I show up and be like, hi, I'm here, and I smile pretty, and I wear pretty makeup, and then I'm not afraid to be feminine. And this isn't, you know, this probably really sounds hella sexist, but I'm not afraid to be feminine because I've learned that my femininity gets it done. It gets it done.
We all have...
Oh, I cussed.
That's right. We all have our unique talents.
Agreed.
Okay? So, what we just want things to be better.
We do.
We want everybody to be equal.
We do.
That's all. We just care about it.
I do care. And sometimes I care so much I cry.
I know.
I care because I do feel accountable and responsible for my sisters, my brothers, my nieces, my nephews, my uncles. I do feel responsible. They're a part of me, right? Whenever I show up, they're still a part of me. And I always say I always feel a privilege to serve my community, for the opportunities to serve my community. And purposeful to do certain things, and this is just something that I'm purposeful to do.
And to follow up, though, we all have something.
Agreed.
We all have something that we can offer.
Yes.
What you offer, what I offer, what Manny offers, what all of our people in Real Progressives offer. We all offer something different, something unique.
Yes.
And you put that together. How can we?
Unstoppable.
We are unstoppable.
Agreed.
We can't lose.
Agreed. I absolutely agree. I always like to
Winner,
use
winner, Bernie,
the
dinner.
story of the Trojan horse, right? So this is one of my favorite stories, and the reason why is because it has been analyzed over and over and over again. Well, the reason why I love the story of the Trojan horse is because what's inside of what's happening, they never saw coming. So you can send the package any kind of way, right? It's just a matter of what's inside that's going to make the difference. And so I just encourage you guys to, wherever you are, whatever you are doing, whatever your passion level, and I have a tendency to inspire people, so I'm a minister, so I have a tendency to do that. So I know you're looking at it and you're probably like, yeah. Here's what I encourage you to do. I encourage you first to partner with somebody that's already doing it. Don't go alone. I always tell people to find groups that are already active, that are already moving, and that are already doing the things that you're doing because you're better in numbers. That's number one. Number two, I encourage you to go to your neighbors and make sure that they're registered to vote. Like, this isn't just talk. This isn't FaceTime. This is me. I am challenging you to go to your neighbors and make sure that they're registered to vote. If they're not registered to vote, take them to the place to get registered to vote, okay? That's number two. And number three, I am employing you to find out who your legislature is and make sure that you're in constant contact with them. Introduce yourself, send them an email, and tell them you are watching the way they vote. Period.
My apologies.
Whether you know how they vote or not, tell them that you're watching them, and then start watching them. Those are the things that I encourage you to do. Because we're the boss. We're the boss. I like to tell my legislator he worked for me.
We're the boss.
Aisha, someone at home is asking if you're familiar with MMT, which is modern monetary theory.
No. And you know, it's funny because another young lady just asked me about that. No.
Okay.
So I'm going to have to look that up.
Yeah, look that up. Real Progressive Champions, Modern Monetary Theory.
Email me. I send you the links.
Okay.
I'll send you all the info. Oh, yeah.
And then let me ask you a couple of political questions. If you can't answer, that's quite all right. What that you find inspiring or you're following?
Yes. So I always reserve my right to choose a candidate. I keep telling people, right? So I really am a fan of Mayor Pete. I like his ideas. I like his policy. One of the things I enjoy most is that he has a presidential approach. Like, he sounds presidential. And although, like, that's not the determining factor, I really do like his policies. He's one of my favorites. I'm kind of watching Biden. There's some stuff going on with that cat. We all are kind of watching, you know. So that's has me a little concerned, but he would be one of my favorites. Bernie, Senator Sanders, of course, especially from now to today. Some of the policies that he introduced are now coming to pass, so that would make him a strong candidate for me. And then, and I just want to say this because, you know, I'm an African American woman. So one of my other ones is Senator Cory Booker, and the reason why I like Senator Cory Booker is because obviously his policies, right? I really think that as all the candidates are lining themselves up, I want to see the ones that aren't making this about Trump, but that are making this about America, that are making this about equality, and about putting our fundamental of family and livelihood back together so that we can move forward. Those are the candidates I'm interested in.
Hey, thank you so much. And if someone wanted to get a hold of you, where can they find you?
They can find me at a few places. So you can find me on Instagram and Twitter as One Black Abyss. That's BLACKBIS. And then you can find me on Facebook as Aisha Goins. AESHAGOINS.
Perfect. Hey, thanks so much for your time, Aisha.
I appreciate it.
All right, bye now.
We're going to see each other a lot.
Yes.
Okay?
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And I'll send you stuff about MMT.
Please do. I'm going to email you too.
smart, you're common sense. You'll get it. I know it. Manny,
Yeah. Are you having a good time, Rose?
I'm having a great time. And this is unlike what I'm used to doing in a studio, but it's more fun.
Good.
It's more fun. And I'm
Good.
glad we talked to a lot of different people today. I really am.
So, Rose, you usually, for those of you guys who are at home watching, Rose is, since I moved out here and been living out here in Las Vegas, she is always at every event registering voters. And for those who do come out to the Las Vegas events, Rose always comes with a little table. We were there earlier today. We're going to walk there now. And she's got a small little table where she registers people to vote.
And I'm also a certified field registrar for the Clark County Election Department. What that means is when the election department wants to send out field registrars that are absolutely no partisanship, no party, no group, we go out. Like for instance, a couple of weeks ago, I was out registering new voters at Del Sol High School, and that's the second year in a row that I've done it, and I love the kids. I see some differences between kids that are 17 and 18 and what I was like when I was 17 or 18. And it is different, okay? It is different. They're not as serious about lots of issues like we were. In the late 60s and early 70s, I was marching in the street. And that's not quite where some of the young ones are. But the good thing is about the young ones, so many of the tired, nasty, awful things that I heard when I was a teenager about racial issues and gender stuff, they don't get it. They don't get those nasty things that old people like me remember. Okay, they're more receiving and receptive. Can you talk now?
Yeah.
Oh, goody. This is Jakey. Jakey, talk to real progressives. Tell real progressives. You follow them?
Yes.
Okay.
Jake, what are you doing out here today? How are you involved in this?
Well, my name's Jake. I'm the communications director for Our Revolution Nevada, and we put together a rally or a center on marijuana justice, talking about the issues that we're facing when it comes to equity within the marijuana industry. We heard Aisha Goins emphasize the need for a macro small business model, so everyday Americans can get into the marijuana industry, start those businesses, and create wealth for themselves and their community, rather than isolating those profits to the corporate end of the spectrum.
And it's a 420 day, and you're part of OR. Is it safe to say that you're supporting Senator Sanders?
Absolutely, 110%. And one of the biggest reasons I'm supporting Senator Sanders is his marijuana justice platform. Not only was he the first president, he made history as the first presidential candidate to run on legalizing marijuana, but he also dove into the vast eccentricities within the industry regarding racial justice. As we heard earlier from Aisha, the majority of the people that own marijuana dispensaries are white men, and when it comes to communities of color, when it comes to marginalized communities, they were the most affected by the war on drugs, and it only makes sense for those individuals to have easier access into an industry that hurt those communities.
Perfect. And for someone who is out there who lives in Las Vegas or a small little city outside of Las Vegas, who's wanting to get involved, who may have been following politics loosely, but they're starting to feel something inside. What can you tell those people, whether they're here in Las Vegas or in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, or in Chula Vista, California, or in Salem, Oregon?
First things first, register to vote and find out where your local Democratic Party is and join the ranks of that party so that you can support Senator Bernie Sanders in his run for president. If you want to go beyond just voting, which is going to take a lot more than just that, if you want to knock on doors, make those phone calls, attend events like this, help organize events like this, you can go to ourrevolution.com and sign up as a volunteer, and find us on Facebook at Our Revolution Nevada and on Twitter at Our Revolution Nevada.
Perfect, and I have to say, Jake, that you are doing a marvelous job at Our Revolution Nevada. If you do follow the channel on Facebook and elsewhere, they have some great information, so be sure to follow them. Anything else you'd like to say, Jake?
Go Bernie! Bernie 2020!
There you go. Perfect. Thanks so much for your time, Jake. All right. And we're coming right over here. I don't want to get too close. Looks like Rosie's helping other people register to vote there. In Clark County and possibly the state of Nevada, I'm not too sure. You have to sign up with the Clark or the county registrar or the state registrar so you can actually register people to vote. I believe that may be the case elsewhere in other parts of the country. I'm not too sure, but we're panning over the group over here, and it was a potluck. Everyone was asked to bring a little bit of their own. We have the DJ here mixing up some tunes, and let's see here. I'm going to give the camera over to Rosie and see if we can speak to a couple of people in just a couple of minutes. And that will probably conclude our live footage out here. So thank you for watching Real Progressives. Be sure to like, follow, subscribe, and share. And for my gay brothers and sisters out there, share, and SCHER, share. What are you talking about? Well, gay men love share, right? Who doesn't love share? We could turn back time. All right, I don't want to sing for you, but yeah, be sure to share. And we're here, we're looking at where or what event is this? Susan Beaver is asking. This is the 4/20/20 Bernie rally in Las Vegas, Nevada. As you can see, we have many community members, both young and old, here. Even pets were here earlier today. They had a couple of games. I'm going to pan out over here so you can see the scenery. And this is roughly, if you've been to Vegas, visited Vegas, and you've only kind of stayed on the Strip, because that's what most travelers do when they do come to Vegas, that tall building in the background, I'm going to zoom in, is part of the Strip. So you can see the stratosphere right there. So we are roughly about 10 minutes northwest of the Las Vegas Strip. Again, about 10 minutes northwest of the Las Vegas Strip. And I'm going to see if Rosie can help. Hey, Rose, when you're ready to film, or... And so... And if you're watching this at home, be sure to, like I said, help out however you can. RP does need your help, and it's because of you guys are watching at home who finally said, threw in the towel, said, I'm going to help out and I'm going to do something. We need that help. We need that help.
got voters registered today.
Excellent.
We got some. Oh, I'm so happy.
All right, Rosie, so I'm going to give you the camera here.
Okay.
If there's a blue screen that says broadcast interrupted, you're going to press that to make sure it's not interrupted.
You got it.
Okay?
You got it.
Again, I just want to say thank you for watching. Be sure to share, like, and subscribe to the channel. It's either there or there. Be sure to like, and if you're watching this on YouTube, you need to subscribe to the channel, but also get the notifications. So this way, when Steve and the team, either from Macaroni Cheese, Savage Joy, or just a real progressive live stream comes on, you'll get notified for that. The same thing with the other social media.
And go to the website and become a monthly donor.
That's right, that's right. We do need some subscribers. For those of you that can afford a couple of dollars, $5, $10, $50, or any generous amount that you can help out with, please do so. You can donate online at realprogressiveusa.com or on this link that will be provided later on by one of the Real Progressive teams over at home base. So let's see if we can go in there and see who I can ask. It looks like a gentleman might be coming out. Let's see if we can ask him a couple of questions. Come on over. Hey, Gina. Hey, yourself. Likewise, you're on live with Real Progressive.
Gina Mazzone.
Real Progressive, that's right. Could I get your guys' name? Can you, your first name, where you're from, and why you're out here today?
My name is Jonas. I live in GDR. I'm out here because Bernie's platform is the most robust, open, mature, and equality-based platform of any politician that has entered the mainstream American political race for 2020. There we go.
I'm here because, I know that like the Controlled Substances Act in the 1970s just forged criminal laws against Latino people and other people of color in a way to disguise racism and put inherent in the system and lock people up and profit. And this kind of criminal justice reform is just, again, we need to be like Portugal and open up all the types of controlled substances and get people the help they need and see less abuse and violence on the black market. And that's just part of the platform that Bernie Sanders will put through if he wins. And it's not about him, it's about all of us coming together. And the whole movement will continue to evolve, and we'll see more and more justice reform of economic justice as well as political economic standards. The two have to come together, and the social democratic socialism is the economic engine that best fits a democracy. We've been told a lie that capitalism is what fuels democracy, when that's the antithesis of what democracy is. If we're all educated and we're all lifted up, then we can vote with our hearts, and we have time to think about what we're voting for, and we'll vote in everybody's best interest.
Perfect. And did you guys follow the 2016 election?
Yes, and I was there.
Yeah. You were there. And the Clark County
I was in the time I was in Utah.
Okay.
Since then,
Okay.
I was there, and I was in the long lines, and Bernie won that state.
Right. Sure you did. And so, are you noticing any similarities, or do you feel that the party has improved since 2016?
Well, here's the thing. I am not a Democrat, okay? So I actively...
You're not alone. There's many of us.
I actively identify as a socialist, a real socialist. But because of the structure and the power of the Democratic Party in the United States, Bernie is running as a Democrat. Okay, fine. His platform has nearly single-handedly forced most of the other so-called progressive candidates to the left. That is one change that I have noticed. People aren't so, against, just immediately, eagerly against basic social democrat, not even democratic socialist, but social democrat, capitalism, like platforms like Medicare for All, tuition-based college, or tax-based college, universal basic income. Those issues are coming more and more into the mainstream. The mainstream media, so the big money outlets, both on the left and the right, or both in the center and on the right, are being forced by the sheer magnitude of groups like Our Revolution and Justice Democrats and these other groups to give candidates like Bernie and Bernie himself more time in the 2020 limelight to kind of talk about his platform or whatever. I've noticed those things. The so-called other progressive candidates like Beto, like Pete, like Kamala, like Tulsi, they're still Swiss cheesy. They just don't have the platform robustness, the platform maturity of somebody like Bernie. So in terms of that change, I still haven't seen anything like that yet. I've not seen another candidate that has that mature of a platform.
Right. You mentioned that you're not a registered Democrat.
I just registered as a Democrat solely for the purpose of voting for Bernie Sanders.
Right. When he announced that he was running, would you have preferred to hear that he was running as an independent?
No, I think he needs to run as a Democrat because I think most likely what's going to happen is I think he will get the nomination, I think he will have a run, and I think that the neoliberal Clintonians will ultimately, I think a lot of them will end up voting for Bernie, and I think that that facilitates itself better through the Democratic Party. Do I think that we should have a socialist party? Do I think that, it would have been better if he could have run as an independent or something like that? Yeah, I do, but I think he made the right decision.
Perfect. And lastly, a question for both of you guys.
We'll let him answer because Nina Turner, son. Nina Turner.
Well, what I like to answer is
Yes, please.
and what I want to say about that is I see that the first time around in 2016 paved the road for what we have now, and it's never stopped. And I think we have a more robust chance than ever before. I'm seeing that all the mistakes that took place are being learned from. I'm seeing diversity up and down at all levels within the Democratic Party and especially in Bernie himself and his campaign. And I've seen more Latinos, African Americans, South Asians, the list goes on and on, women, all of those things that are important. And the other thing is Bernie's playing it smart. He's doing what he had to with his two-party dictatorship for corporate interests. He used the Democratic Party to play interference with Republicans.
That's right.
You can't stop all of these people without Bernie. We're the AOC, and you're going to see all these other progressive candidates. This is just the
Now, there are some who are on the fence because of Bernie, because of 2016 they supported they out-supported the campaign. They felt that Bernie didn't speak up when he could have spoken up. You had the Green Party activists, or a section of the Green Party activists, who were also gung-ho for Bernie back in 2016, who've completely gone on a different deep end, for a lighter way of saying something, right? What kind of message can you give to those who are maybe not Democrats, but maybe Green Party folks or other independents who are kind of on the fence?
Well, I would say the message is this, that for years the Green Party has been very valiant with their platform, and they're seeing that kind of platform. And if we, through our revolution and this movement, win elections, they will eventually, when we get ranked choice voting, get their chance, and you'll see Green Party candidates, all types of progressive parties get their chance to get their voice in there, and we'll see, and we won't have this two-party dictatorship. For the time being, I think they belong with us, and we can open up the playing field, and this is our best ways to consolidate and go forward and win this.
So on the Green Party thing, I identify with that a little bit. I mean, I think there are progressive platform pieces that the Green Party espouses. I think, that I identify with. The environmentalism is great. So I don't really have anything to say about that. But with the neoliberals, the centrists, I think that this I think what's happening right now is a turning point in America, and I think it has everything to do with racism. And I think that white neoliberals need to take a long, hard look in the mirror and ask themselves why they are persisting a centrist platform when it hasn't done anything really for people of color. I think that's one of the big things that this is about. And I think if they want things to change, they need to start seriously looking at platform pieces like Medicare for All, taxpayer-based free college, universal basic income, federal jobs guarantee. These types of pieces of legislation are pivotal for oppressed groups because they take power away from groups that have always had power, and they give power to groups that haven't. And what I see with these, quote, centrist, neoliberals, whatever, is a resistance to that. They think it's radical, too much change, whatever. And I think it's really selfish. I think that needs to change. And I think they need to look at themselves and they need to think about what Bernie's saying about the platform.
And we're going to...
Well, in the meantime, like what he was saying, there's too many of us, brown people, red people, black people, yellow people, all of these different people from all backgrounds. We are the brunt of all this punishment. You can't wait any longer.
Right,
How many of us are going to be casualties to capitalism? It's easy for them to say. They don't have to live with the pressure every day.
That's right. We can't wait any longer. The whole thing about, well, I don't know, this is just too radical. You've always been under the gun of capitalism. It isn't radical. Right. It has to happen.
Go to Real Progressives. Go to the website.
That's you guys, Real Progressives.
Learn about modern monetary theory, MMT. We have great podcasts, okay? MMT.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's all you got to remember. MMT.
We'll see you guys around. Hey guys, do you guys have a couple of questions?
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
I was impressed. I really was. It gets better with a band.
You are on Live with Real Progressives, and you were playing out there. Thank you for entertaining the crowd. Great music. What is it about Bernie's message that resonates with you folks?
I think Bernie, to me, like, I'm from the South, and the Democratic Party really has gone right. They're not even centrist anymore, and I feel like that Bernie is basically, a New Deal Democrat. And I've seen it in the 38 years that I've been voting, that he reaches to the right spot, which is where the Democratic Party should be. And since the 90s, it's gotten even worse.
Do you feel that Bernie's having a hard time in the South, or will have a hard time campaigning?
I think Bernie needs to do what he did with Fox News. He needs to go to the South. He needs to go down there and speak to the people, because all they're getting is secondhand information. Every state should count, and even if it's a red state, I don't think it's worth just going to swing states. I think every state wants to be heard. Every state wants to know how he stands, and I think he should do it. I mean, he has the ability, and hopefully with donations, more donations, he'll have the money. But this is the only way we're going to change this. Get out there and talk. And his message, obviously, you saw it on the Fox News. His message, Republicans like Bernie, and independents like Bernie. He needs to get out there.
What is it about Bernie that resonates with you?
I think I've never seen that actually seems to really care about people. We need to focus our energy on. There's so many people that are worried about the world, this or that, or this. He's actually, everything he says is literally for the people. I think our country is, it's already a great country. It already is a great country. It's keeping it great. But it's just really taking care of our country. Instead of focusing, we need to look everywhere. Maybe also other countries and things, but there's so much at home that needs to be taken care of. I think Bernie's a candidate that actually cares about it and is actually willing to try things and try new things. We've been in the same system since 1776. There's nothing wrong with changing it. It's not a total crazy change, but it's a little different. I think that's what scares people, but I think it's change for the better. I think it's
Are Bernie's ideas radical?
I think they make sense.
I think they're mainstream. I think that's where the party came from Roosevelt. When, hungry man, I think Steinbeck said a hungry man would do many things, anything to When I was in college, back in '86, in the summer I worked at Walmart. I made $7.25 in 1986 at Walmart. I guarantee you would have been not far off from 1986. So that's telling you that that's one part that hasn't changed in our country. Everything else is going up, all prices going up. We need to focus that Americans are important. We, the people, are important. And justice is important. And accountability. And anti-corruption. And it starts right here. Like locally, we need it.
Hey, gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. Have a good one. Thank you as well. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right, folks, we just heard from a couple of people who were entertaining the crowd and shared some of their thoughts about what's going on here. It looks like the event is starting to wind down. Let's see if we can come on in over here and talk to a couple more folks. Questions? You're on live with Real Progressives. You're here with talk with Lori earlier. What is your name? Judith. And what is your name? Christian. And what brought you guys out here today?
Well, I'm on the board of our revolution, and I'm also involved in the Democratic Party. I'm with Left Caucus. I'm the chair of Left Caucus. So we're very issue-oriented, and so the issues that Bernie talks about are the issues that I care about: Medicare for all, the Green New Deal, social justice, economic justice. So this is a critical time in history where we can actually go down that path. We can move forward. We can't go back to the status quo and expect that any of those policies will ever be fixed. So I'm here to make sure that we do everything we can to Nevada to make sure that Bernie Sanders is on.
Perfect. And why are you out here today?
Well, in 2018, we made sure that we won back the House. And right now in 2020, what we need to do is win back the Senate and make sure that we have the most progressive candidate beat Donald Trump. That's really it.
What is it about Bernie's message that resonates with you guys?
Just that he's been consistent on his issues for a number of years. Other politicians have been kind of hopping onto his bandwagon when they see that it's popular, but he's really the one that started it. We wouldn't be talking about Medicare for all if it wasn't for him. We wouldn't be talking about a Green New Deal if it wasn't for him. And we wouldn't be talking about getting money out of politics. So he's really changed the narrative, and he has been the most consistent person or a politician out there.
I think he's the only candidate to beat Donald Trump. I mean, there's this false narrative that it needs to be a centrist because this country is a centrist nation. That's a totally false narrative. I mean, our country has moved. It's moved to the left. It's moved, you know, Bernie Sanders and AOC can be considered centrist the way the majority of Americans agree with their policies and decisions. So I think we're doing a real disservice to the country by saying we're a moderate or a centrist movement. I think only a progressive candidate like Bernie Sanders can cross all lines. He has a message that resonates with all people. It's not about the D or the R or the independence. His message resonates with everyone, and that's why I think he can actually do that.
So a couple of days ago, I think it was last week, Speaker Pelosi was interviewed by Leslie Stahl on 60 Minutes. I'm not sure if you saw that, but she referred to the progressives on the Democratic side as to 5 people. How do you feel about that?
5 people and a glass of water for winning that history.
Yeah.
I feel angry about that because I think that they're dismissing progressives at their own peril. And I'm a longtime Democrat. I've always been a member of the Democratic Party. I've always voted Democratic. But this is about so much more than party loyalty. This is about making some real changes, making transformative change in this nation. And that's what we desperately need. And for her to say those things is her way of dismissing that faction of the party. It's a lot more than 5 people, because even if you want to say it's AOC and Ilana Moore and a few people and people like that are really strong progressives and are fighting for progressives issues, they represent a whole hell of a lot of people. That's not just 5 people. When you say something like that, you're dismissing a huge faction of the American people.
you're not just dismissing 5 representatives, you're dismissing a large number of American people that feel strongly about positions. So I think that was a grave mistake on her part, but it makes her look like she's answering only to her corporate donors instead of still connecting with the American people. And that's where the Democratic Party has lost their way. It's because we used to be the party of people, civil rights, women's rights, LGBT rights. Why are we fighting for health care as a right? That's a message that everybody feels strongly about. So instead of listening to those, private insurance corporations that make big donations, how about listening to the people? That's what we need, and that's why so many people are drawn to Bernie Sanders, because we feel like he connects with us, he understands what we go through in our everyday lives, he has real empathy, and that's a very rare trait in a politician.
Right. Thank you so much. And then lastly, I have a question for you. Someone who's running their campaign, if you were able to speak to Bernie Sanders directly, he's listening, or someone from his campaign, what can you tell them to captivate more of the millennial or younger?
Don't mince your words. I saw the Fox News town hall. It was beautiful. Do that more. And really just speak from your heart. I saw his first rally where he talked about his family, the way he grew up. I think sometimes too many politicians will give their personal story and leave the policy aside for another day. But for Bernie Sanders, he's been putting the policy in front. He's been putting the policy in front and open to the public that we really don't know about his personal life, and really we shouldn't care about his personal life, but his story and that message that it brings to the White House is ultimately important, and I think a lot of people resonate with his personal story.
Hey, thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, let's see if we can speak with a couple more folks.
Gina Mazzoni.
Unique is that. Hey guys, you guys are on Live with Real Progressive. Do you guys care to share a couple of words? Why are you out here today?
I'm out here to make some hot dogs and to be a part of all of the energy here, and to support legalization of marijuana, because why on earth are we still prosecuting that? Why are there still people in jail? Why is it not legal everywhere?
And I see that you're wearing a button. What does that say?
This says "Fund Our Schools Now."
And what is that?
That's just in support of in support of the school system and teachers who oftentimes have to use their own money to buy supplies, and and they've got these overloaded classes, and if we need new revenue within the district. We need, especially in an area like Las Vegas, where there's a lot of growth and there's new families moving in, and these schools are overly crowded. We need to be building new schools to accommodate all of the new families and stuff. So, we as a community have to band together and decide that our children are important, and the education of the next generation is vital to to the survival of society. And we've got to choose to put more into that pile, so we can actually give them a head start and give these kids the foothold they need to be productive members of society.
Perfect. And you guys care to share a few words?
I agree with everything he just said.
Me too. We're here because we support legalization of pot and also cannabis. Yeah, and Bernie Sanders, and there's a lot of work that still needs to be done. Cannabis legalization, making it a fair market where anybody can get involved. It's not fair that it's only the mega wealthy who can get involved in this business. Everybody should have a chance. So it should be about the people, and that's what Bernie Sanders is about. He's about the people. So I really think that the two come together today, 420 and Bernie Sanders, because they're both for the people. That's what the fight's about. So.
Gina, you've been around, that's how I met you, with Bernie supporters last time.
Yes.
So we're not just kind of come latelys.
No.
Have you guys and your wonderful, you and your wonderful husband over here
Boyfriend,
have.
but we've been together for 12 years.
Nah, he's
At
looking.
this point.
Yeah, but listen, have you guys over the past few years have you followed Real Progressives on Facebook
Yes,
or on their?
yes.
Okay, I'm gonna plug them because they've made me like really even more excited. And am I an excitable person?
I would say you're an excitable person.
Okay.
Like the right excitable things.
Yeah, and
You don't just waste excitement.
right, yeah, that's right. That's right. So I do get excited, and for something to make me even more excited, it's got to be really exciting.
Yes, absolutely.
So I want, because I know you guys, the two of you, will super appreciate learning MMT, Modern Monetary Theory. Go to the realprogressivesusa.com website. Find Real Progressives on Facebook.
I'm a member. I don't know. Are you a member?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, good.
I am.
Oh,
I am.
you mean, look at that. And they contribute on, oh my goodness, I love it. What's the chances? I just started doing that.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. So tell your friends, share a lot. I love you both. The baked mustacholi was wonderful. And thank you guys. Thanks for being part of all of
Yes,
this.
thank you for all the hard work you do. You're one of the most hardest. You're one of the most amazing, hardest working people involved in this. So
We love it.
you do.
You got more time to go than I do. I gotta get a lot more in.
You know what? I've been really busy with like work, so it's made it hard for me to be as involved as I want to be. But I kind of just needed to find the right balance between work and life.
And we can get, I'm real flexible. We can get together on anything, anytime.
It's so important as activists that we take care of ourselves and not let it get to the point where our mental health is suffering, and that's what happened to me. I got to a point where it's like I need to focus on my own mental health. So
Yeah.
yes, there's a lot of us because we're passionate people, and so because we're so passionate, we're gonna be prone to depression and anxiety. We're sensitive souls, so we gotta learn to take care of ourselves and each other. There's a lot of egos in this, and that's a turn on. I don't like that. I don't like the division within the Democratic Party. It makes me sick, actually. It makes me really sick to where I don't want to be involved in it. I want to, though. I really want to. Sometimes it's not good for me, so I have to push myself away for a while. But I hope I can get involved with it. I hope I see a change in the party.
Thanks, guys. Take care. We'll talk soon. Manny, let's walk. Let's go take. We're gonna go take a. Oh. The register to vote banner blew away or something.
Judith Whitmer, who was speaking a couple of minutes ago, gave me this little pamphlet here.
Yes.
Jeffrey Carlson was wearing a button. So for those of you who are at home, who are in Las Vegas, on April 27th, there is the rally to fund our schools. So be sure to check that out. This is Attention Clark County Educators. It's sponsored by the Clark County Education Association, which is one of the teachers' union out here in Las Vegas. And that's Saturday, April 27th. And I believe there's also many Bernie house parties happening that day as well. So there's a lot of stuff going on all across the country. So be sure to stay involved. Here, let's see if we can move it around, Rose, because we're going to end this live stream.
Okay.
We're going to press this here.
Okay.
And all right, let's turn around. Oh,
What are we doing?
Here, let's come sit over here.
Okay.
Okay.
Oy
So we want to thank you for watching. And, I apologize for my all over the place. But thank you so much. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, get involved, stay tuned, learn modern monetary theory. I know for myself it's been a journey, it still is. For Rose got it real quick.
I'm getting there. I love it.
And again, we are real progressives, and we're all constantly learning. There are things that we can teach each other, and in that process, take care of one another, enlighten one another. And
You gotta have heart.
gotta have heart. So, with that being said, do you want to add anything else before we sign off?
Thanks, guys. Have a wonderful weekend, and see you soon. Take care.
All right, and thank you guys for watching at home, and be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Bye now.